Hello guys, I've just finished work and I've just driven from work, hence the uniform still, and I'm just moving into my new unit. The official start date is tomorrow, so I've been trying to get as much done as possible. Let me flip you around and show you where we're going to be based. So this whole big unit here is mine. Well, hopefully mine. Hopefully sign the contract tomorrow. So let's go through the door. We've got a big entrance there for all the machines and getting the sims in and out of. And then we've got the door entrance here. So this is the downstairs. Now, I'm only allowed to use this section here right now. So this is where all the printers are going to go and the laser machine. So this is the far wall opposite the door as we come in, and I'm hoping the laser machine's going to go here. Going to get a big hole drilled through here for the filtration system and the vent fan that will take it out. That should sort the laser out. So basically this whole length is going to be dedicated to the laser machine. May even be two lasers, a slightly bigger one so we can cut large panels, MIPs in one go. Don't know yet because that's a huge outlay and I don't have that money. I've spent all the money getting this kind of ready. So far wall, not far wall, but side wall against the garage door. Let me show you. So there's the large garage door. That's just all empty boxes that needs to go for recycling. This wall here is going to have all the resin printers, the wash bath, and etc, etc. All the resin stuff against one wall. We've got a giant CNC machine ready to be built there. That's what's in that package. Now I've had that CNC machine, or the parts of it, to build since I got here. So when I first arrived in the UK back from Brunei, there's two things I wanted. That was a laser machine and a bigger CNC. Of course, I soon realized after buying the CNC, there's no way I was ever going to get that into my small house. However, here, it's going to be perfect. So if we come to the other half, so this half of the lower section, I'm not allowed to use. And that's because we're having, under the stairs, you probably could just make it out. We're having a toilet fitted, a wash basin, and moving around here, hopefully a kitchenette and, you know, somewhere to cook food. Microwave, basically. Nothing more than that. And then this side will probably be where the CNC machine goes. I think that should cover the manufacturing side. And if we flip you around, we've got some steel stairs that go up to the first floor. Here we go. So right now, all we've got is a quick coffee and tea area for everybody that's going to come and work here over the next few weeks. Then we've got all the throttles, the 172DIYSIM, that can go back up now. Got the Lelystad to be rebuilt, that's why that's there. This is going to be the main filming studio and design studio. So let's turn you around. Right in the corner, behind the stairs, we've just got a storage area right now, nothing more than that. Then we've got the workstation computer where we design and run all the machines downstairs, and of course video editing. Moving across, we've got the print station, and right here at the end is going to be the filming studio, hence the cameras are set up. The rear wall, that's going against the rear wall. That is currently pushed out because the owners are painting all this wall for me right now. There we go. Sorry if the camera's moving a bit fast. If I was to stand in the filming area, you can see that we've got the forward camera there. We've got the overhead camera there. We've got the angle camera there. And of course, the camera I'm using now, the hold cam, the Pocket 3, Osmo Pocket 3, that's going to be called close cam. And that's what I use to get you in from the sides. As you can see on the table right now, we've got the A320 side stick. Really can't wait to get into that. And I've been waiting to move into here to get it started. Behind the cameras and the filming studio, we've got the dirty area. Now, when I say dirty area, this is where all the partial builds, all the builds that I can quickly swap in and out is going to go. This is just temporary storage. It's all on rollers, so it can move about. There we go. And that's where all the single seat sims are going to go. So we're going to have the 737, the A320. We've got the Cessna 172, which I'll revisit and build. and got the Apache coming, got the 139 coming. Now, when I say they're coming, these are just things that I'm doing in the background when people, obviously people maybe for custom designs, and I help them out. Mainly ex-military folk that are, in fact, 90% of my customers are ex-military, or military serving, shall I say. Now, I've been asked this many times, are we building an A320 Not right now. I've made room for it. There is room for it. It's going to be a single seat if I ever did do one, but I'm just doing the parts that I can get hold of, because we've got the side stick, we've got the throttle, and then basically this whole shelving here is dedicated to A320 parts that I've managed to get hold of. And I can't believe, you know, on eBay, they're actually quite cheap. That means we've got that whole area at the back there still free. Don't know what I'm going to use it for, but it's always nice to have extra space to expand into, because I can guarantee I will use it. One thing I'm really lacking is more tables. I think for downstairs, we'll go to B&Q and just make some temporary, well not temporary, they'll be pretty permanent, tables from 2x4 timber. Let me just turn you around. The CLS timber, this stuff here, make the structure, because this is about, I think it's £3.98 a stick, a plank, a plank, a bit of timber anyway. And then we'll just use some MDF on top to make big tables, 4x8 foot tables, where, you know, we can put printers, and if we destroy the worktops, it has doesn't really matter. Whereas now, these beautiful tables that cost a lot of money for filming, if you can see all the scratches in the top, it's absolutely horrendous from where I've been putting the A320 throttle, the 737 throttles. They've had big screws digging in, etc, etc. It's supposed to look nice for filming, and I should have kept it that way. Should have put something down before I put the units down. Anyway, so downstairs, back to downstairs. Yeah, in fact, you might get a good view here. Downstairs is there, and that's where all the manufacturing. Tonight's job is to bring all the printers that are in the car. I've got 2 tables that I've bought. They're the cheapo ones, and they may not be good enough for 3D printing, because what we don't want is for the tables to move about and judder with the bamboos on. We want them to be really solid, and from upstairs, I don't think these are going to be good enough. They'll certainly be good enough for resin, but resin's going to ruin the hardwood tops on top. Anyway, you probably get to see me do that in time lapse. Now, Helen has helped out a lot just recently. She comes in her car and helps brings the stuff. By the way, will you see Helen on camera? I doubt it very much. She's very shy. Yep, she is super shy. Right, let me get some workbenches built, and really would like to get the printers going, but I don't think that's going to be possible. Anyway, enough waffling. I am definitely going home. We'll continue this tomorrow. Good morning, guys, and it's day one. Day one being the first full day I've managed to get into the unit. So today, I've just got through the door and I'm feeling fantastic. I'm feeling refreshed. I can't wait to get started. Got to get the laser machine up and running, number one job. Got to get all the printers making stuff, which means I think the quickest way to do it, now originally I was going to have shelving and desks all the way around. That's still going to happen. I'm just going to build a huge 4x8 foot table in the middle. So it'll be a work table. I'll be able to get all the printers on it while I'm creating the rest of the room. So basically, full-size sheet of MDF. Let me just see if I can get the camera to zoom down a bit. There we go. That's 18mm MDF. One for the top, one for a lower level, so we've got storage underneath the desk because it's such a huge thing. That'll be good for all the resin, all the spray paint, all that sort of stuff, all the extra reels of filament. There we go. So all the printers can go on there for the time being. I'll make a separate unit for the laser machine because that really needs to get panels going. Head upstairs, make sure the electricity's on. Yeah, electricity's on. I've had a JLC PCB parcel just arrive. Now, by the time this video comes out, you should have already seen the other JLC PCB video that I used to test the cameras. Because I want to get progress a lot, I'm not going to set up the whole camera setup just to make this next video or this video right now. I'm going to put you on the desk and we're going to open up the new JLC PCB parcel, which is absolutely huge. I have no idea what it is. It's sat on the desk right there. Because at the moment, I'm ordering a JLC PCB package almost every other day. I have no idea. I've made that many new designs. That's where all the expense goes. It's in the prototyping. So, like the new Corries and stuff, it all just takes time, but it's all happening in the background. And now hopefully I'll be able to show you that as we go along. Let's get this parcel open and see what's open, because that's quite a big box. And I can't remember what I kind of ordered for that sort of size box. So before I can open that, I've just realized that the A320 side stick, it's got hydraulic components in it, and they have leaked all over the table. And just like standard hydraulics, if you leave them on the table, the fluid gets really sticky. And now I've got a horrible mess. Helen left me this. She bought this from Morrison's the other day, and it's just standard desk cleaner. However, it's not shifting the hydraulic fluid, so we're going to try some IPA wipes. Now, absolutely love these little buckets. They're like wet wipes for adults, really. I'm going to try and do. Okay, we'll try. Now, normally I take the center out and you pull out from the middle, but on this one, it looks like someone has already tried to tell me that you're supposed to take it from the outside and work your way in. So we'll give that a go. Right, get rid of them because they're dry. Yeah, see, that's why. Yeah, that's not going to work. You are going to have to pull the center out. There we go. Damn it. And we lost quite a bit, but now they'll come out properly. Good. All this just to get started in the day. Good, they are working. So now we get to bring the parcel in and see what's inside. Probably nothing exciting, but hey. Whatever it is, it really is big. I cannot think what it is. And Gerber file. Oh, 6-pack. Well, guys, this isn't interesting whatsoever. This is just the 6-pack switches ordered in bulk. How many are here? 100. Only 100? Oh. These must have been packaged really well. Ah, they've done it again. So when the last time I've ordered these and the last 2 times, they've come on the boards themselves. But this time, this must be a change in their manufacturing process, because now they're all coming on these boards. And you've got to break them off. There we go. Not an issue. But it's just the switch panel, so there's no changes. That actually is the original version. Okay. So we've got 100 of them, and because they come on these massive boards, I guess I actually paid for the excess board as well. That's why the package is so big. Well, that wasn't very exciting at all, was it? That can go in the bin. So just in case the camera was too far away, this is how the new 6-pack switches are coming. Very bizarre, they've never come like that before. They really have come like that, and with really neat sides. The sides, because they've been broken off, feel absolutely horrid. But no mind, it'll do. That'll explain why the packaging was so big. So first job of the day is to replace the paper on the paint boards here and get the nose wheel panels painted. It's a beautiful day outside. Well, it's semi-okay. The sun is out, kind of behind the clouds, but it means that these will be ready for Monday morning to go out, and hopefully we'll get these painted while I work downstairs on other jobs. These paint boards are a bit of a mess now. They can't take any more paint. As you can see, the paint is just flaking off, and we don't want those bits to go onto the new painted pieces, so we need to replace the paper completely. So that's all the face plates done. They're on, so now they won't fall off, or if the spray can goes on them, it doesn't blow them away. That's why the masking tape's on there to hold them. Same for the back. So these are the back panels of that same panel, but we have to peel off the centers and the outsides. So they all get painted. So we just need to head downstairs now and find somewhere where to paint them. Hopefully outside. I have no intentions of painting in this unit whatsoever. After seeing the state of my old shed when we took everything out, the paint just gets everywhere behind all the nooks and crannies, and it's not good. I have just spent the last 10 minutes spray painting all 4 sides of the nose wheel panels, but yes, unfortunately I forgot to press record. However, that's not an issue, because if I head back inside now, I've got to do the same thing all over again for the Apache panels. Right guys, I just had lunch. It's now getting on to 2 o'clock and I still haven't got the printer set up, the table made. I am really getting behind schedule. However, outside the parts are now dry, and the nose wheel for the 737, those panels now require, let me grab it, some grey paint. So we'll get that done and then I can finally get on to making the table. Okay guys, that is the 737 nose wheel panels all painted in grey. They can bake in the sun for the next few hours before we put them back in the laser and etch them up. So now it's definitely time to head inside and build this table. Now it's not going to be anything special whatsoever. It's going to be butt joints, a couple of bits of MDF and a few planks. That is it, just to get me started and get everything up and running. So we know the table is 122 centimeters wide. So I've got the 2 pieces there, and what I'm going to cut are the 3 bits that join the 2 long sides together. Pull it tight, mark it. Okay guys, that is my work table done. Yes, it moves. It is very basic in build, but as you may have heard earlier, this means that if I don't like this, or if I don't want it in the workshop, at least I can take the boards out and recycle the whole assembly. I mean, there's just a couple of holes here and there, but hopefully it's solid enough now to mount all the printers, and we can get underway making stuff again. That's the most important thing while I set up all the workshop area around the back. So before we go any further and put the printers on, I want to get that grease-proof paper on the top, get it coated all the way around, and that'll hopefully protect the wood here from all the resin. Good evening, guys. It's actually another day and I'm just about to head home. It's getting late o'clock at night, but I thought I'd better show you what we got up to in this video. So this is the final result. This is how it's going to stand for the next, well, couple of weeks, let's say, until we can get back at it at a more relaxed pace. But right now, you can probably hear the laser machine, the compressor and the cooler. That's all working against the wall there, so quite pleased with that. Tomorrow, we've got some new ducting that's going to go out all the way through the door until we get the handyman to fit a 6-inch hole in the wall there to put the laser machine straight out the back where it's not going to affect all the other customers at the front there. So all that work, let's turn you around. We've got the computer desk there, so that's where it runs the laser machine. We've got the laser machine there. We've got another quick built cabinet that holds that up, mounts the air compressor and the water cooler. In fact, I've not checked to make sure it's not leaking yet. I better do that in a second. Let's do that now. So if we go around the back, oh yes, we've still got a leak. Let me just find you. Oh yes, so we've still got a leak. I don't know if you can just see the drip at the bottom there. Let me see if this will focus. There we go. So I need to get a tie wrap on there a bit better. So tomorrow we've got the stand for the portable spray bay coming. That can go outside as well. Or we can push it to the door there and have the exhaust straight to outside. It has got a big filter on the back and a big air extractor fan. This is the cure and wash station, a bit like a washing machine. That's actually coming in really handy when you're doing lots of small parts. Okay, so the main work we carried out in this video is the big work table in the middle. All the resin printers over on one side. There we go. Coming round, we've got the wash station, the little wash station, the cure station, cleaning area, and of course, right at the front, we've got the 2 prototyping bamboos. Underneath, so the first shelf was always meant for all the different kinds of acrylic we use to make the Boeing panels, or in fact any kind of panels. That goes all the way around. Then at the bottom, it was specifically made for the resin height, the boxes of the resin, and then we've got all the bamboo filament stacked up underneath in colour order. Coming round, we've got all the open packets, which are probably no good anymore because these are years old, but I still keep them. There we go. All the different kinds of sandpaper at the bottom there. For the 3 different machines I own, the belt sander, the orbital and the mini bench sander. They're just plain sheets. All the way along there now is all the Amazon filament, which of course doesn't fit into the bamboo machine without a respooler. Coming up, the shelves of doom, right, better known as the shelves of junk. This is all yet to be sorted and there's not much I can do with that. I've stacked all the excess wood to make the shelving on the outside at the back there. Still got plenty of it, but I think we're going to get through that quite quickly. Coming round, right, so this is the toilet and kitchen area. We can't do anything with that. I'm not allowed to use this space. However, that is my wood saw and base. Joshy, my son, has been using this table, this makeshift table here, to stack all the bits ready for painting. There we go. And he's been sanding every single button to get all the supports nice and flat for you guys. Let me just pull one off here. So there you go. Hopefully he's done a good job. And he just puts them on the belt sander for about 2 seconds and it just smooths out the support area underneath. Okay guys, now hold your breath for this one because this has turned into an abomination. Abomination? Wow, one of that kind of word. A right mess. Oh God, it's depressing. Yeah, so the The family are up here yesterday helping me pack, unpack, etc. And to get, they basically sped through as much as they could do. So when I turn you round, both Helen, Josh, were stripping all the JLC PCB packaging off all the parcels, off all the individual PCBs. Let me just show you if I can find them. Yeah, let me turn you around. There. So they took all the outside parts of the PCBs off, and then we've just got one big box of PCBs ready to get out, to be shipped out. Of course, that's all the packaging from JLC PCB. Now the reason why it's in a pile and not in a bin is because we recycle it. We reuse it to package out to our customers as well. This will be tomorrow's job now. We'll get that all cleaned up after work tomorrow. Shouldn't take long. I mean, it all just goes back on shelves in hopefully an organised place. Oh, a big update. I'm going to take you outside a second because guess what? Starlink arrived. And thanks to the guys on the estate here, they hoisted me up to the top of the building on a forklift in a safety cage, I'd like to add. And wow, that has just changed everything. So, right at the top, there we go. There's Mr. Starlink working away. The top of the building, awesome. And within, I don't know, I would say 3 minutes of installing it, we had, I think, 250 meg download speed and 12 meg upload. So upload's a lot slower. Now that shouldn't affect anybody but me when I come to upload these videos, but we'll see. Most important thing, I guess, is Fusion 360. Being connected to the internet for that to work, and hopefully that will do the job. I mean, not even my house internet is this fast. The website pages just instantly load, and you can definitely watch 4K YouTube, no issue whatsoever. Right guys, that's me. Good morning guys. I spent a lot of time last night, in fact into the early hours, getting this place cleaned up, getting it ready so we can just jump into filming, we can jump into designing. It's coming along. Right, behind me, filming studio, looking much clearer, it's getting there. Going to take the 737 single seat, going to move it to the side and put it on its own dedicated table here with a camera facing it, so we can do the wiring, so we can do all the programming, we can talk through panel by panel how we're going to do it. Up here, on top of this desk at the back like it was in the old studio, is no good because it's taller than me and I can't get in over the top. It needs to come down so I can go look over it and get the info, get the cameras in there and get my hands in there. So that's my top priority. Let's get this fully wired up, let's get it programmed, let's get a bit of interactivity into it. In the meantime, we've got my filming desk. So filming desk is right down here. Now, just clearing this up, the kids and Helen have been packing all the parts for me. So what they're doing is they're taking the panels one by one. These are the light test panels, and they're wrapping them ready to go. I've got to put the labels on. What is this one? Oh, actually, that's the clock bare PCB. But they're all wrapped, ready to go. This is going to save a huge amount of time because when the orders come in normally, I have to then package everything up. But the kids are taking a lot more responsibility. So the filming desk, that'll be tidied hopefully today. We're going to finish, let me turn you around, finish wrapping all these because the kids and Helen are away now on holiday. These shelves over here, these are all the various aircraft parts, and they'll be moving to the far corner over there, well out of the way. As you can see behind me now, this is not something I've had before, and again this is going to really help streamline things. So these are where all the products are going to go, all the products that I've made downstairs, in fact not just me now, hopefully Helen and anybody that comes to help. Basically we can see our stock levels straight away. So we've got the MIP back panels here. Let me see if I can get this camera in. There we go. Down here we've got the MCP face panels for the $38, which I don't know why I can still call it the $38 MCP, because it's a lot more expensive these days. Prices have really gone up. But if we come round, you can see now that we've got dedicated boxes. So there's the nose wheel panels, there's the DU, there's the AFDS. Still got to do the EFIS box here, but everything's labelled up. We can see our stock levels and it should be a lot simpler. Down here, well, this is button hell. This is for all the FMC version 4 files. Let me just scroll you down a bit there. So action buttons, number buttons, you can see we're completely out of letter buttons. Enunciators are okay, line buttons, we've got a couple left there. Behind me, we've got another set of shelves here. This is for the 172, the Apache, and all the PCBs. As you can see, Chloe wrapped all these last week. There we go. They're all the FMC version 4 boards. Now, unfortunately, guys, they've already sold. They're going out this weekend. But we do have another set of 100 coming. Now, it's not the PCBs that are the problem, it's the buttons. I am still making thousands of buttons, not a day, be close I guess, but every couple of days. On the back wall here behind me, right, is the small product stuff, like the soot lenses, the master caution fire warning, so they can just go straight into bags. So of course we've got the 6 packs here. Got the lenses there. Basically, these are all the Corries, blah, blah, blah. Just random small parts. This shelf here is all the electrical components that we sell that also go out. And we've got more of the, I think that's the dual flaps section, ADI knobs, RMI knobs. Moving around, the computer desk, well, I don't know if that's going to stay there or not, but I quite like it there because I kind of get up from the computer, come to the table here, and then if I need to, go down to the filming studio to film. Let's go downstairs and give you a little view around there. Coming around, fire extinguishers, very important. These are all the buttons. These are all the letter buttons because I'm out of stock that I made last night. These, so while they were being laser engraved and painted, these were what the resin printers were doing. They're basically Zeus and line buttons. I don't think we're going to need any more line buttons because there's probably a few thousand in there. No, not a few thousand, a few hundred perhaps. Coming along, more MIP panels, ELT panels, clock panels, auto brake panels. Mess. Still not sorted that mess. The bamboos, well, these are printing extractor fan adapters, especially for this one here, so that's ready to go. That is the mounting surface for the 6-inch pipe down here. There it is, point with my finger there. It goes out underneath the door, and that's for the spray booth here. So that big panel is going to fit in there. Big extractor fan outside into the filter unit, which just happens to be on the floor right now. The laser machine, well, that's going and it's just finished, and it's made more MCP panels. Poor old resin printers, well, they've been going non-stop for the last day or so, making line buttons and Zeus fasteners. These two are about to start making the new Corries. So we can get those tested, get them printed ready for filming later on, probably tomorrow to be honest. I really want to get on now and, as I say, move away from making FMC buttons and give, Josh has already taken that on and he does a really good job of making them. The only problem is the family have gone away for a week now to see their family in Essex, which means I'm back on myself. However, I have got friends that want to come and work for me in the days and evenings. Friends! Right, I think that's about today's update. The idea is to get this place up and running. I'm nearly there, really am. And then I can just pick an item off the side here, take it to the desk, which is there, and film it. Or even vice versa, do CAD lessons on the computer. And if I haven't said this already, the whole idea of this far corner and the table behind me here, so this far corner is to have some desks with extra computers on that perhaps we can have people come in. I can teach them to show them to use CAD or Fusion 360. They can then come to the desk. They can make their parts while they're here using the machines downstairs. I can show them how that does. So they can come for the day and they can learn the CAD, the laser machine, the 3D printing. It can all be done hopefully within a 24 or 48 hour period, and then they can go away with their completed parts in their hand. Just something else to do. Get a bit more interactivity with others of the sim building world. So before I can do any painting, there's one last job I want to get sorted. So this is my mobile spray bay, and we've got the hose that comes out the big door here. Got a big extractor fan. I bought the wrong size extractor fan, and so I've got 6-inch tubing into, I think, a 125mm output and input. So I've had to make some 3D printed adapters, one there, and the idea is we'll take that hose, we'll mount this to the back of the unit, put the hose onto there, and then have the long hose attached to here out the door. So I'm not moving around a 10-meter hose every single day. That's the plan anyway. So I think if I just quickly mark up some holes. So there's our spray bay. Got a filming light so we can see what we're doing. It does have a big filter at the top, a mini extractor going around the back, and we've got our turbo fan, and then a bit of pipe into the outside just to get rid of the fumes from inside the building. It's the same for the laser machine. Big filter unit at the base there coming around, and then just the hose out of the door and into the open air. Now that should make the air inside the workshop a lot friendlier. We do have a toxicity meter here, and why is it not on? Oh, because the power's not on. It's connected to the laser machine, so it only works when the laser machine's working, but you get the idea. Right, time to do some spraying. Let's get some 6-packs done and some other items if we can, while the sun's out to dry it all. Glasses on so I can see. Now I can see the camera as well. Let's do this. Secret start in your heart, so slow. But if you don't want to tell me now, I guess I'll never know. Here we go. So while I'm busy sanding and painting on the sanding machine here, we've got Joshy over here, laser engraving all the FMC line buttons. He has to put them in this little rig. There we go. There's the little rig. In it goes. He has to take them out and then place them all. These are the ones he's done. Let me just go around him. There we go. These are all the ones he's engraved. That's quite a sight to behold. There we go. Heading upstairs, and just to show you that my wife really does exist, we've got Helen. She's working down here, and she's making all the paint boards up just here. And there we go. So she's got all these ready to paint. Got all these buttons ready to go here. Got some knobs. The family's just left, and what a day it's been. We have been going non-stop. With the help of Helen and Josh, we have achieved so much. From 6-packs to dual Corrie cases to FMC buttons, would you believe it or not? I'm going to flip you around and just show you the amount of work that we managed to achieve in one day. Just look at all these buttons. Got some dual Corrie cases there, more buttons, lots of letter buttons. All these ones that are now engraved and coated in lacquer for extra protection. More FMC buttons. Got the line buttons here, also lacquered, along with some more number buttons. Then we've got the cases ready for filming. This is going to be, the FMC is going to be right after this video now. More button cases, more dual Corries, Seuss fasteners, and finally 6-packs at the end. If I just turn around, I think that is quite an amazing achievement for one day. And if I'm honest, that's not all either. There's still a lot of little bits inside that we've created that I'm not going to show you. However, let's head upstairs. You've seen downstairs. This is pretty much how it's going to be now for the next couple of weeks until I get all the outskirts created. Upstairs, now that has changed. Definitely for the better, I think. I've moved the computer, which I'll show you now. A lot more space. Everything's in the right zone. And what I mean by that is by moving the computer next to the filming studio, it also then can power the sims running along this wall here. So if I turn you around, here we go. I'm going to turn around, coffee table, lift you up. So there's the first sim. We've got the Cessna 172 and the HeliSim. HeliSim with VR, which can then be connected directly to the studio PC, which is the most powerful PC we have here. So it needs all the power for VR. Of course, if I turn you around. Now, when we moved, we had a bit of a disaster because everything got shoved either in the car or in the van that we borrowed from work. And quite a few things got broken. But of course, because it's all 3D printed, we can just replace it or reprint it. Even the Cessna 172 panel, that's looking a bit sorry for itself. And do you know what? I thought I was just going to simply repair it and get back together. But then I realised I can make it much better second time around. For a couple of minutes on Fusion, adding brass inserts where they need to go, making it bamboo friendly. I've learned just today, while I was doing the starter switch for the 172, which is this unit here. So a lot of people buy the starter switch here with its auto return back from start. However, I've learned that you can't print it on the bamboo because the tolerances are incorrect. They were designed for the CR10 where you've got to have a minimum of 0.2mm clearance between the parts so they fit together. Whereas of course bamboo, you can go right down to 0.1. And that's 0.1 total, not 0.2 each side. If I just get the parts here, a prime example, these have just come off the printer now. So these were originally designed for the Ender or the CR10, and there is so much play that would feel horrid in the key. Yeah, you can just see that, and there we go. It's not a friction fit. That's the different tolerances between the two machines now. So when I design stuff for the bamboo, it naturally doesn't fit on the Creality. Good morning guys, and it is like Christmas Day here at the workshop. Got a phone call at 0800 saying that my new laser machine is here. And what a laser machine it is. I didn't have time to do unboxing because I had the whole community helping. There wasn't just time to do anything, everybody just got their hands on it and threw it in. It's there behind me. Now just look at the size of this thing. Okay, this thing is absolutely enormous. It's 100 watts compared. There's my little baby one behind it now. There's the 60 watt, which is a quarter of the size of this unit. We've just had to rearrange the whole workshop. We've pushed the wall to the left just to fit everything in. This thing is amazing. So I'm expecting big things. Wow, it really is big. We've taken the vent off the old machine, put it into this one. Need to put some more ducting work in along the rear edge here so we can feed more machines like the spray booth on the other side. Plug this one back in if we ever get it working again. The water chiller's done. Now just got to connect up the external air. So that needs a mod. Got to drill a few holes in my new machine, but let's get that done. So make sure there's nothing behind, and there's lots behind, but in the center about there. Let's give it a bit more oomph. And hopefully that means we can feed the airline through the hole. We can disconnect the old little fish tank air pump that's fitted. And now this can go to the main air compressor. I've just got one more thing to do. That's probably to tie wrap that there to stop it from being pulled and to disconnect the fish tank air supply there. So all I've done is physically disconnected the fish pump. So that's the air supply mod done. So around the back, so there's the air supply that we've just disconnected, both electrically and the air. We've just got the duct pipe. This panel can go back on now, get screwed back together. So inside this part is the massive laser tube. I mean, massive compared to my 60 watt. It's all ready to go. I'm going to leave it open because we might have to align the mirrors with all the movement. So that can just stay like that for the time being. Next up is to tie wrap some of these pipes here to make sure they don't leak when we turn it on. So I've just put this loop on the second output. I'm going to tie out that one to make sure we don't get any leaks. That's good. Give it a little tweak. Same for the other side, the inlet. And of course now we need to do the same for the machine side. Then we could turn it on and check for leaks. Well, I guess it's time to turn it on. I just want to check that we can turn the air on and off because that's the mod I've just completed. So I guess we just release the stop. Okay, so it's going to home. No idea what that noise is for, but it's loud. That's better. You may have noticed I've forgotten my glasses. I was in such a rush to come and get this morning that I forgot my glasses and now I can't see a thing. May have to hook up the computer to get this working. Well, it shouldn't be a big job. Let me see if I can find the USB cable. So we've got a nice long USB cable. It certainly looks like it anyway. Mind you, it is a big machine. Yeah, it is quite long. So I guess it's time to see if Lightburn recognises it. No idea what that alarm's going off for. But I do have the manual. Right guys, I can't figure out why this alarm is going off permanently. I'm thinking about seriously disconnecting it. The machine is working fine without it, it just will not stop going off. Okay, so when the doors open, that alarm has to go off. I am seriously thinking about disconnecting it. I don't need that on. I'm more than happy with a big flashy light. So for the time being, masking tape over the top. So there's the masking tape. Still get the flashy light, and then we get a really quiet buzz. I can live with that. I don't know how long before I disconnect it completely. So I think that's the machine ready to be tested. So I'm going to have a quick clear up and see what happens. Okay guys, that's it. I can't stand the buzzing. I'm going to have to disconnect it. Even on quiet mode, it just keeps going. In all honesty, that is so much better. The big red light tells me the cover's open. I'm happy with that. Well, I want to cut something, but I thought better not. Better do the laser alignment first. Yeah, it caught fire instantaneously. This is going to be quite difficult. Reduce the power down to 10%. So the laser alignment is way off. I guess that's what I'm doing next. This panel here is the mirror axis for the laser. Number 1. Yes, it is. Perfect. Good. So that's the laser tube aligned to the first mirror. It only took about 25 goes, but it's as good as I can get it. Wow, it's quite a lot. And no fires this time. Now I've turned the power right down. What I'm going to do here is something quite naughty, and I'm actually going to disable the door opening devices so that I can just quickly push the fire button. I'm not going to be anywhere near the laser firing. Never ever do this. What do they say? Don't do what I do, or something along those lines. Do as I say, but not as I do. That's what I'm trying to think of. Good. So the laser's engaged. Now we can just quickly fire. Otherwise I'll be opening this cabinet about 50 times. So we're adjusting this mirror assembly here to get this black dot in the center of this circle. So at the moment we're low and we're too far right. I think I've made an adjustment, so let's quick fire on that. Okay, so we're still too far right. That is dead center. Well, that was a lucky one. So I can put this cover back on. I was just about to say that that's this one done, but it really would help if I locked off all the set screws so it doesn't move. We'll put a new bit of tape on just to make sure that that hasn't moved since I've adjusted the set screws. There we go. Yep, that's pretty good. So I can definitely put this cover back on. Okay, so this one is quite far off. Had to move the gantry from the end quite close because I think it was firing too far off this target area here. It's currently there at this distance, so it definitely needs to be brought into the center there. So it's just occurred to me, I have no idea how to raise and lower the bed because it's automatic. It's supposed to be auto-focusing. I have no idea how that's done, so I better get the manual out. The problem was I didn't have the Z-axis engaged on Lightburn. It actually told me that was the problem. So I'm going to engage it, I'm going to press autofocus and see what happens. Is that going to hit? I think that's going to hit. Oh, is there a micro switch in the head? Well, that's kind of clever. Let's cut a square. In fact, I really would like this cover off so I can see what's happening. Right, it's definitely time now to cut the first square. Let's see what happens. Right, the air did work, but I didn't have it switched on. So at 50% power and at 5. So what I had it set to was the old laser machine settings. And for 3mm, that was nice and easy. In fact, let's speed it up and see how fast we can go. So I've jumped straight to 10, I've doubled the speed. Hit OK, start. That was fast. Fast compared to the baby machine. Now what we can actually do is, because I've disabled the switches, I can actually show you what's happening. I'm cutting squares. There's nothing that exciting, but hey, I'll bring you along for the journey. So that was 10 at 50. Now, to get maximum performance out of this machine, what I'm going to do is, I'll probably ramp it up to about 70% power and see how much we can cut with that. So, what speed we can get at. Let me turn you around. So this machine is already 3 times faster. And I don't think it even struggled there. So this is 20mm per second. This is 4 times faster than my other machine. So it's not 4 times faster. So on this one, I've increased the power to 70% at 20mm per second. Here we go. Oh, so close. So on this one, I've slowed it down to 17mm per second. Hey, perfect. So that's our speed for white acrylic, is 17mm per second and 70% power. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap out the white and find some 3mm clear acrylic. And here we go. Now I don't expect this to cut. Oh, close. That's a pretty good effort for clear. So I've reduced it to 15mm per second now. And it's done it. So I'm going to reduce that slightly more, I think, to... That's a really nice cut. Wow. I hope you can see just how crystal clear that cut is on the side. I've not had that before. Just for safety, I'll reduce that to 14 so I don't get any miscuts. Wow guys, so pleased with that. First thing I'm going to do is take off. So the safety features are now back engaged. I'm not so necessarily worried about myself, but it's other people like my son, my daughter, and Helen that will use it for me. I need those back in. I trust myself, I don't trust others. Does that sound right? You know. Protect my own family, basically. and anybody else that wants to use it. So, machine set up, she's ready to go. We really can, hopefully, start feeding the machine lots of plastic. Oh, and of course for me, I can now make full-size MIPs of any aircraft because that is a big build plate. And of course you can just feed the material through. Oh, can you? Has it got feed through? Oh, I don't know, I'll have to check that later. And what that means for me now is that I can start processing and building the overhead, the pedestal panels. Oh, there's so much to do. This is going to be awesome. It's been about a month since the last video, and we've now got a sign on the door, as you can see, so people can find us. Let's head inside. So inside, the workshop is coming along. We've got just a work desk there on the right. We've got the resin cleaning station. Now this place just gets abominated with amount of fluids that get spilt, but this is where everything gets cleaned and dried and cured. Then we've got all our 3D printers. We've stopped using the smaller ones for the time being, but they should come back online in the summer months. At the moment the temperature is too cold, and each of these units have got their own individual heaters fitted. So we've got two Saturn 4 Ultras there. We've got a Saturn 3 Ultra and a Saturn 4. I've stopped using the Saturn 4 as well because it doesn't have Wi-Fi. Coming along, we've then got our two Bamboos. And definitely one of my favourite new purchases is the fibre laser, because that produces high quality text on every panel, as long as you can fit it in the machine. We are restricted to 200 by 200, but it is a 50 watt fibre laser. Absolutely amazing for getting that perfect finish on the panels. Moving around from the fibre, we've got the control computer for all the lasers, and there we've got our giant 100 watt Omtech laser. It's just amazing. It operates so fast, it's so big that you can just put a whole sheet of plastic in there and it'll produce so many parts. Baby one, well, that's been resigned to the corner, and that box there is full of the parts required to get it going, along with the new laser tube up there. But that has failed. It's had a hard life. That has worked non-stop for the last couple of years in my little shed back at home. Right, now, still the shelves of doom in the centre. Now that separates the two halves of the workshop. Obviously, in the first part of this video, we weren't allowed to use this space because the toilet was being built. Well, it's several months later and the toilet is still being built, but we do, as of last week, have a working toilet. Now that is a massive upgrade for me. Well, there's not much to show you, apart from there's a toilet and sink in the corner of the workshop without walls. So at the moment, the walls are coming apparently. So the walls are coming, and for the time being, we've got these cheap Amazon segregation blinds, which work okay for me, but obviously not for guests coming or for workers coming into the unit. Now this will be where the CNC machine goes. Yeah, hopefully. Just put these racks up for the time being. That's where all the painted parts go. It's really quite handy being able to have dedicated shelves to put all the painted parts on. Before that, they were just getting stored on everything that had a flat surface. Now they can go on a dedicated space and they shouldn't get knocked or damaged when they're painted. Behind me is the spray bay. The spray bay is connected to a big vent and filter system, really quite powerful, that sucks out all the spray gases straight outside. Just quick, this is called the drying table, and it's just a temporary table until we can get more permanent residents in this part of the workshop. We've got an IR heater, which is really good for drying the parts. Now, you probably can tell that I'm in the unit. This is the lower floor. It's about 2 degrees in here, and keeping the resin heated 24 hours a day, keeping the paint warm, even heating the paint up to be able to spray is quite a bit of a mission at 2 degrees. Now, as we come up the stairs, we've got all the throttle units. We've got the A320 throttle there. We've got Nick's 737 Classic there. And then we've got a cockpit for you one there, right at the back. You're coming around at the moment. There is the 3D printed overhead structure of the 737. Coming around, we've then got some Art Deco for the walls. Beautiful biplane that I've been sent. While we're here, I'll just say a very special thank you to Chad in the US for sending me all the fridge magnets to start with. That's awesome job, mate, and they are hanging up on the wall. Moving on from the biplane, we've got more memorabilia that the family bought me for Christmas as a Christmas present for this place. Absolutely amazing. What we've got here is the guest reception area and where the workers, my children, come and sit, watch MTV while they're doing some laborious tasks for me. So right here, we've got a big, large TV. Now the TV is here to watch MTV, etc. But this will be the main screen for the 737 and the A320 that we can push into location. That's the reason that's there. Just a coffee table and a small sofa here. But it's great for relaxing, I love it. I think at this point I can be honest and say that this place is amazing. It is my man cave. It's where I get to do my hobby, the thing I get to enjoy. And now it's just a really cool working space. Got the 737 single seat. That's in progress right here. Once that's done, there's a Max come in, an A320, an Apache, a 139. So there's lots to do. At the moment, the helicopter sim, that's down here. I've put the 172 away. It's on the back wall because I want to completely redo it. That is such a fantastic beginner sim that it needs to be redone to the sort of standard I'm at now. So we can make it so much simpler, so much more effective, quicker to print, quicker to make. There's a lot to be done on that, and I'm really looking forward to it. Of course, with the advent of PCBs, it just makes life for everybody so much simpler. In the corner is the editing computer. Filming, design, everything happens at this unit here. Have we got anything on the desk? Or we've got the new Corys version 2. They're coming out soon. Right behind the filming desk, so here's the filming desk in the top left-hand corner. We've got a segregation screen that hides it from the filming studio and the filming studio from the computer. And that is this beautiful bit of kit here. We've got the actual studio desk, the background with the logo all lit up, and then the two display cases left and right showing all the parts that we make or we have made on film. FMCs, G1000s, the two new MCPs. Moving around, these are the containers for all the electronics, all the hardware, screws, thread inserts, nuts, etc. That's all stored in those boxes. And then you've got what you probably don't normally see on camera is my view looking forward. So that's what it looks like from where I stand looking at you on screen. We've got the overhead cam up there. We've got forward cam. We've got sliding cam. We've got angled cam. And then we've got the unit I'm using right now as close cam, this one right here. It really is a very smart studio. Got a bit of art deco on the walls. There we go. Bit of aviation art, should I say. There we go. And while we're here, I can spin the camera around and show you what some of the latest designs we're working on as of right now. So right now, we've got the new version 2 pedals, which have just come out as a beautiful print. You cannot see the layer lines. Look at that. And no support is required, which makes a huge difference. Moving around, these are the pedal bases. There we go. These again are designed so support is an absolute minimal, and they're designed for fast prints. This section here alone only takes 5 hours to print and is still as strong as the original version. And here is one that is fully built. That's the underside, flipping it over. And that can be printed in at least quarter of the time that the other versions took. Now, the best thing about having your own man cave is that when you walk in, you get to pick a project and you just get to hit it hard. So if I feel like designing one day, I can just jump on the computer and design the parts. Otherwise, I can do a bit of filming, creating the build guides for people on the filming desk there. Or I can crack on and wire the 737 single seat, which again is another project that we're doing right now. I can just slide a project out like the 737 and I can continue wiring it if I'm in the mood for that. This is one of the most important projects because we've got to get this ready for FSWeekend in Lelystad on the 16th, 17th of March this year. Still a fair bit to do. Hopefully you can see that the whole left hand side of the MIP is now fully wired and operational. And all we've got left to do on the MIP is put these last few wires in for the right hand side and then fit the screen back in and put the power units back in. That's all coming on videos. It's a build series for the 737 single seat where basically you can just push print and hopefully you'll get one of these going. That's the end for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. It's been an absolute blast. Now let's see what we can achieve in 2025. Until later, Carl out.